Hey everybody, welcome back to another Dungeon Quest video, and this is going to be about 5 extremely crucial tips on how to become pro in Dungeon Quest. Basically, finish my long-term goals of Dungeon Quest, so I'm not playing it as much. So you see, I have lots of stuff anyway, so yeah, and I don't feel like doing boss fights anyways. So, before we begin this video, I want to make sure you guys subscribe, because if you want to see more videos like this where you can get helpful tips and you want to see me play some more Roblox, then you should subscribe, because so you'll know when my videos will come out. So make sure you also hit the notification bell and turn on the notifications. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, first extremely crucial tip is to upgrade your gear to the appropriate classes. Now this is extremely important, because if you're pretty new to Dungeon Quest, you probably didn't know that there are different classes. And classes are extremely important because they help you resort to one type of ways to deal damage to other mobs. Now there are a few classes that are in Dungeon Quest. One class is the warrior, and a warrior uses skills like this one, explosive punch. It scales with physical power. When you read, make sure you read the descriptions when you get a new spell, and if it says scales with physical power, then that's a warrior spell. And also, if you're a warrior, you should upgrade your armor to physical. It actually increases your damage by a lot. And you should also upgrade your weapons, your warrior weapon to physical too, like this one. Okay, well this one is not even upgraded yet. So, and then another class is the mage, and the mage is what I'm currently right now, and it uses spell power. So upgrade your gear to spell power if you want to be like a mage DPS. If you guys don't know what DPS is, a DPS is a player who deals damage by either warrior or mage. But first we need to show you like some spells. One spell that's extremely important is Innervate. Well, Innervate is actually a good spell for early dungeons. Like for example, from King's Castle to Underworld and to like Samurai Palace. One of the best combos in like a few months ago was Innervate and Skull Flames. Now Skull Flames and Innervate are actually quite basic, but they were actually OP in a few. But I use Pulse Fire in other spells because I'm stupid. But you get the point. That's like and also there seems to be like another spell that I think has replaced the Skull Flames. So instead of getting Skull Flames, you get Phantom Flames, which is another weird thing that happened. Now we're going to talk about the Tank Healer. Now the Tank Healer, well, you can be either a tank or a tank healer, but a tank is a person who has lots of HP, so it has excessive HP for a dungeon. Like I have Inventor's Guardian Helmet. Now you see my HP has increased by a lot, but it's not really that enough for tier 10 boss fights anyways. But for other dungeons it's actually quite a lot. So when you have if you want to be a tank healer as like a career in Dungeon Quest, then you can't really solo it. You shouldn't really solo things by yourself if you don't have the max DPS armor and stuff. So instead you should go to other you should play dungeon with friends. So and then use a healing spell like for Winter Outpost is probably the Aura of Life or something like that. Well, the Aura of Life is for Winter Outpost and it's actually quite good. But in King's Castle you get another spell which is Chain Heal. And Chain Heal is actually pretty nice because it has a pretty short cooldown, and you have the universal heal. Well, it used to be pretty OP back then before I started Dungeon Quest. Maybe, it used to be pretty OP of the cooldown, but now it's like we don't see a lot of people use it. But actually we do. It's just not as much as a chain heal. And the reason why is that even though we have universal heal, it like covers the whole map. But it has a pretty huge cooldown, like at least like 20 seconds. Because make sure you guys remember this. The seconds is what you call it. For the cooldowns is actually longer than an actual second in time. So just to let you know. So the next tip, which is the number 4 on the list, is that you need to have enough HP for every dungeon. Now this is actually quite a very important thing, because most people do not there's some people who do not have enough HP. You don't really need like guardian armor for every dungeon, but if you're a DPS, you should have at least a few skill points in your you should put your skill points in stamina. Now this is very important, because you should have if you're like in King's Castle and so on, you should have at least like 10 or 15 skill points. Even though this is going to decrease your damage by a bit, it's not that dramatic. My recommendation for every dungeon is that make sure that you can get like 4-shotted by mobs and at least 3-shotted by bosses, or maybe 2-shotted. Well, no, 2-shotted is too less, but at least you can get 3-shotted by bosses, and for mobs at least 4-shotted. That is an extremely important tip, because even though you have good dodging skills, you can't really dodge lag, and lag is a very conversational thing, because there are some times where you have internet lag, or maybe lag spikes, and that can ruin your day, especially in hardcore mode. So you need to have that amount of HP. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next tip. Our third tip, which is one of a very crucial tip, is to use shift lock mode, or if you are a mobile person, first person at least, because shift lock mode allows you to aim your skills better, aim your spells and abilities. Like for example, most spells in Steampunk Sewers for mages, you don't really need good aim. But I need to look, for example. For example, if you have Skull Flames, you pretty much have to aim it, or else you're not going to do so well. And if I use Innervate and Skull Flames, we're not going to do that much. But you'll see what happens if we don't use Shift Lock. And see, you're trying to do this, but you're trying to do this. You see, we're actually ending up doing some big damage. You see, I already died. So that is one tip. And if you use first person, make sure you're looking back at them. Make sure you're just walking backward too. And this will help you aim better. So if I'm using just first person, you see, it sounds so easy and stuff. And what I'm noticing a lot of a lot of new Dungeon Quest players do is that as a warrior, all they're doing is just doing this. They're just like well, actually that's what I did in Pirate Island too, so I can't blame myself. Okay, this is gonna be hard, Pirate Savages. Why? But it's actually bad for your mouse, or even bad for your device, and it's also you're going to get your fingers worn, and it's not the best idea. Just use your skills. But on mobile you can't really see what's behind you, so that's one disadvantage. But it's actually better than just doing third person. And is in if you're first person, like most of like the circles and like beams and stuff are actually quite high. They're like this. They're like a little bit higher than you expect it to be. So it's gonna be harder to dodge stuff. So we're going to move on to the second tip. Our next important tip, which is basically like the fourth one we did today, is about grinding. Well, you probably know that grinding is pretty important in Dungeon Quest, and it's also pretty painful, and it's pretty tedious. If you have the motivation to do it, it's going to be not as hard. Well, here's the thing. Well, we're going to talk about coin and XP grinding. If you're grinding for coins, you should at least do when you're making a dungeon, you should choose which dungeon is best that you can beat. If you can't do hardcore, then don't do hardcore. But you're getting the amount of coins you get when you beat the dungeon, plus the sell price of an item you got. And if it's a trashy item, then that's sad. But it's also pretty a good thing, so you can get coins and you can upgrade your gear. But if you can't do hardcore mode, then don't do it. If you can't do nightmare non-hardcore, then do insane. It's that simple. And once you finish one dungeon run, to the next one. You shouldn't waste your time selling your items one by one at a time. What I like to do is first I just finish one dungeon run, and then after that I go straight into the next one. And when you're grinding for XP, just at least you should be able to do some dungeons. You should if you can't do nightmare, then don't do it. Unless if you can do if you reach all the way to the final boss, then you can do nightmare for XP. But you should really do insane if you want to get gold. But for nightmare, if you want to do if you want to get gold, or get XP, and you can reach the final boss, well, even if you died so many times, then this is good for you. When you're grinding for XP, there has been a major XP boost, so yeah, it's gonna be great, at least for a low level. And so recently I've been grinding my friend in Pirate Island, and he is leveled up. He can level up in like 3 dungeons. And that's really nice. So it's a way for people to level up and stuff, and that's why it's very important. If you want to learn more about how much XP you get per dungeon, or if you want to learn how much gold you get per dungeon, you can go on the Roblox wiki. The Dungeon Quest wiki, and I'm not sure if I can. I'll probably leave the link below in the description. Anyways, we're going to the last tip. Now, number 5. The last tip I'm going to tell you is, well, here are some ways to speed up your dungeons and make your dungeon runs easier. Well, yeah, this is actually very general, but it is very important to keep in mind for low levels, in case they forget. Which is, if you are on a PC, you shift lock. Just do it. It's easy. And then once you do that, make sure you strafe them up. We have these long range guys, like for example the ice wizards in Winter Outpost. Avoid the lasers. It's so important. And also when you're with the warriors, the ones that are that come around and try to stab you, you just walk straight, like backwards or something, or at least walk forward and straight. And don't make any sharp curves, because they will catch up to you, and then they will hug the corner, and then they will stab you. And also if you don't have a speed skill, just don't jump. At least look, it's going to do you no good. It's going to make you die. And why I recommend the speed skills? In my personal opinion, I like speed skills because you don't have to aim, and you can avoid the warrior mobs anyways. And when you get to one of those bosses, just memorize the moves. This is so easy. And one other tip is, when you hit the corners, you should hug the corner, because you see, when you hug the corner, it is very easy it will take less time to get to it. And if you're going like right here, you're literally wasting your time. And also when you're going downhill, you slow down, so make sure you jump. Yeah, you jump downhill is actually an extremely important tip. And also make sure you know how long the long range beams go. Like for example, the dark magician's beams are like somewhere around here. So no, actually they're quite longer than you expect. But also you should know how far the radius of seeing you is. So probably around here they can see where you are. So and then they'll just come towards you, and that's that. And also make sure you gather groups. This is especially important because if you can't gather groups, then it's gonna be a lot harder for you to defeat them all and move on to the next room. Like this is what it looks like. So first you gather them up, then you curve and turn so that they all like gather into one. And look, they all gather into one, and this is and that's a trick. Well, but here's the thing. One disadvantage of that is that if you if you gather the warrior mobs, and then if they come close to you, they can actually stab you at the same time. You can get one-shotted, which is not a good thing. And that is really how you speed up your dungeons. And also make sure that to reduce lag, you should also turn off your settings here. Also the graphic quality, you see because the lag actually affects your movement speed, and this is important. And also the ping matters too, because if you have bad ping, you're not going to your spells are not going to react. Like your spells may come in late. And for example, if I try this with times 10 graphics, you see I'm actually my computer's struggling. This is like it's like 30 frames per second. So this is gonna be hard. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do this boss like this. Okay, boys, that are the 5 crucial, well, actually one of the most important tips in Dungeon Quest, and that is really how you do it. This is how you become pretty pros in Dungeon Quest. And after that, if you want me to do bonus ones, I can. Like for example, how to grind for legendaries. Now Bush is one to take the day, so yeah. And so if you grind, how you grind legendaries, make sure that is actually going to be my next video topic. I hope it will be. If you turn on the notifications, then you get to see when I will upload how to get legendaries in Dungeon Quest. And also if you're lucky, you can also you can get cosmetics too. Okay. After that, okay, I'll see you guys next time. If you want more tutorials, then yeah, okay, goodbye. I don't care.